Welcome. We are live. Thank you so much for joining our Assuaged team of students. Today we have Annette Castillo, Indumathi, Kenya, Dean Bravo, and Kimberly. And we are also excited to be on here right now talking about how vegan desserts, the quality that they consist of, the health benefits, and just the overall gist of being able to make those kind of yummy desserts at home. It takes time and practice to really master the craft of anything, but I know with desserts you can feel more empowered making your own vegan desserts by just getting in there and creating and experimenting with different ingredients, looking at recipes online, looking at the reviews to those recipes online really gives you a sense of being able to do it yourself. Next slide. Stressed is dessert spelled backwards. Oh, I love that. I didn't know that. So slide number 3, we have some funny dessert memes. No matter how much I eat, there is always room for dessert. Dessert doesn't go through the stomach. Dessert goes to the heart. Oh, I love that. I would definitely say you get that really yummy taste from, vegan desserts. Like I was just telling Annette, we do a vegan eggnog, and really it's just, almond milk with dates and then adding like a mixture of holiday spices like the nutmeg, the cinnamon, and it really comes out like vegan eggnog, and you wouldn't even know. So, okay, I will read the next one. I don't share Bifami, I don't share credit, and I don't share desserts. And I can see why, because desserts are so yummy in general, especially vegan desserts. Life is short, eat dessert first. I love the rhyme and the catchiness of that. So, it is, very overall just an amazing thing to be able to get yourself in to create those desserts and enjoy them because they're healthy and they make you happy. You can go next, Dean.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Assuaged vegan desserts. So we know that being vegan is fun, and that's how we like it. How to make eucalyptus poached pears with pine nut granola, that is included here as far as the recipe. Most like recipes from Assuaged are posted as well, like how to make a vegan German chocolate pecan cake. Wow, that sounds fantastic. That can be located on assuaged.com, use tag desserts. Slide number 5. So it's time for discussion. We'll have a discussion based off of today's topic, and we encourage you to participate in this discussion by sharing your thoughts and ideas. So let's discuss. Discussion question 1. What does vegan dessert mean?
It's open to team members. Can we have Anna to tell us what does a vegan dessert mean?
A vegan dessert is something that, and in my question, I'm going to add to this as well. It's something that is yummy, something that is surprising, because you don't think that it is not made from any meat products or any animal products. So it tastes good. It has a tendency to be low in saturated fats. It's high in fiber. Of course, you can get things like chocolate that releases endorphins in your brain. So it's overall goodness. Anyone want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'll add. Thank you so much, Annette. I do agree. There's so much health benefits. There's fiber, and desserts, they can carry a lot of sugars. So a lot of us need to be mindful on how much sugar we're intaking. Lots of chemicals and contaminants and just regular processed foods in general. So being able to empower yourself to make your own desserts and to do them as much from scratch as you can, will give you an experience that allows you to kind of dig into more of the desserts when you want them instead of having to limit them so much. I know the older you get, you have to be, oh, I can't have sweets too often. But I feel like once you go raw vegan, and, you know, like my husband, he makes a raw vegan cheesecake, and it's literally a unicorn cheesecake. It's all rainbows, and you wouldn't even know that it's not something that came from the Cheesecake Factory. We were able to make it home, and the colors are made with green spirulina, with blue spirulina, with camu powder, which creates it the color red. And so it's a very delightful experience when you can kind of get in there and play with foods that you haven't played for that are much healthier for you. Kenya, what do you think?
I'd say vegan desserts are definitely a more healthier choice than regular desserts. I don't know too much about vegan food, but I'd say they probably do have less sugar. I still have a lot more to learn about vegan desserts, Cynthia, but I'm here to learn more for sure.
Yay. Yeah, you know, and that's amazing that you say that, because it just takes a little bit of exploration and just becoming familiar. A lot of stores are starting to introduce new foods and new desserts, and I just cannot wait to see. I would like to get like a strawberry shortcake eventually at the store. That would be really cool, like in like a little cupcake kind of can thing. Like they have those cupcakes, and you can just get like one delicious cupcake in a package. But it just makes for, even though it has that processed element in it, until you get comfortable, as I was saying earlier, to do your own raw desserts, you always have to, there's a starting point and then leading into that. So thank you, Kenya.
Cynthia,
Yeah.
Indu is stuck backstage, just so you know.
So those recipes on the Assuaged site are there's a whole tab of desserts, and even, I mean, the pictures are to die for. They just look so good. I have yet to try one, but Kenya, that might be a good place to start. I think sometimes it's a little scary just using ingredients that you maybe aren't familiar with. Like Cynthia mentioned a couple of like spirulina and different things. But it really does work out, and it's they taste delicious. So Assuaged is a great place to start to learn about those desserts.
Yeah, before coming to Assuaged, I never knew vegan desserts exist. So I thought being a vegan is like losing all your desserts, all your, like good stuff on earth. So after coming to Assuaged, I learned a lot of recipes, Annette, you're right. So like this is no animal, no, dairy products, no gelatin, nothing, but you still can have ice creams. You still can have a lot of desserts. It's nice. Yeah. Thank you.
Amazing. Kimberly, what do you think?
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Hear you.
So yeah, to me, vegan desserts, well, first I think no animal products, no dairy products, and all that. But to me, vegan products are just so, dessert are just so yummy, and they're kind of refreshing. I kind of feel better when I eat vegan desserts than a regular dessert, because I just feel a little healthier. So if you get the right recipe, and like my team members said before, on Assuaged.com, there are really good ingredients to try out some delicious vegan desserts.
Yeah. And vegan desserts are lighter, and we can eat more. Yeah. Yeah, I love the fact. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question here about if vegan desserts are healthier than other types of desserts. I think we've kind of touched on this already, but I do want to point out that mentioned that they are usually lower in saturated fats. They don't have saturated fats or unsaturated, and I don't know about calories and sugar, but they definitely have health benefits. They have increased fiber when you're using nut milks. I mentioned chocolate. You release those endorphins in your brain, and like Cynthia had said, that they taste good. There's different ingredients you can use, like different what am I thinking of? Is it chia, spirulina, different greens. So and you just can add them in, and they still taste good. So I think they are healthier in general than other types of desserts. What do you guys think?
I love that you said that, because it is a lot healthier in several ways. For example, right now I'm working through another box, but we have 40 pounds of organic cacao chocolate chips. And they're sweetened and they're diabetic friendly chocolate chips. And I put them in coffee, and I'm trying to use up what I can, but we have so much because we used to do events. We used to make desserts and fudge at the celebrity events, and obviously when COVID hit, we haven't been able to do that. So we are working our way through this chocolate, and we did have 2,000 pounds of flour, and then we got another 500 pounds of flour, gluten-free flour that we gave away. So sometimes we got stuck with this amazing organic cacao, and you can just sit there and eat on them all day. They're from the Santa Barbara Chocolate Factory, and they're organic, sweetened chocolate and diabetic friendly, kosher. It's amazing. I'll drop the link in the comments for anybody to look into that.
Awesome. You can make that into there's this great cacao syrup that I get at Press Juicery. So you can make it into a syrup since you have so much.
Yeah, I just want to add the fact the fact that it's dairy free too. It just it's guilt free and a lot better on the digestion for a lot of people that are not able to tolerate dairy. That's all I wanted to say.
And I just wanted to add one other thing, that it's not only good for us, but it's good for the earth.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I love that. Kimberly, Kenya, do you have anything to add about that? Any thoughts, food for thought?
I wanted to add that another plus to vegan desserts is there isn't as many chemicals or preservatives that there might be in other ones. Just like for some grocery store desserts, the things that are on their shelves, there's way more preservatives in traditional desserts compared to the vegan desserts that you might find at like Whole Foods or something.
Thank you so much. So we're going to go on the next slide. And
Does Kenya want to add anything to this slide?
Yes, I could add to the slide. So I definitely believe that vegan desserts are healthier than regular desserts because, like everyone was mentioning, less sugar. And in my own mind, I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not too familiar with vegan desserts, but since vegan is the vegan diet is already a healthy diet, I would assume that vegan desserts are healthy. So where do we find recipes for vegan desserts? And as we were mentioning earlier, there's a bunch of tasty, yummy recipes that can be found at Assuaged's website. Does anyone have any other places where we could find some good vegan dessert recipes?
Google. Google's 89% of people just go on there and reviews. 95% of people make their decisions on reviews. So looking at the reviews attached to those, and maybe those gaining authority in reviews too is a good way to find recipes. Anybody else?
Yeah, Google is a very good one, Cynthia. I found many, but like my favorite is Assuaged always. I love the recipes from Assuaged, so I just go for Assuaged always. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, Annette, what do you think?
I am lucky. I have a vegan dessert. A mom actually started a local company here called Sensitive Sweets, and that's the only thing she makes is vegan desserts. So I try to get over there when I can. But otherwise, like I was saying, the recipes on Assuaged, just my mouth starts to water when I see the pictures. So I think I'm going to venture into trying some of those recipes out.
Thank
Can we go
you.
to the next slide?
Did you want me to read number 9?
Annette, do you want to go ahead?
Yep, that's me. Question is, do kids like vegan desserts? I think kids love anything that is sweet. It's best to start your kids off with fruits and vegetables and plants and anything raw in the first place. I know when they're young babies, we're trying not to give them anything like ice cream or things that they're going to develop that sweet tooth. So starting them off with fruits and vegetables is the best way. The best way to start kids off, but then developing their tastes and adding those products that you can kind of sneak in, spinach and different ingredients. They don't know the difference. So just give it a try. If you have kids, don't be shy and have them try some vegan desserts. I think they'll like it.
Yeah, they like it. Yeah.
I love that. I have 2 nephews, and my sister took off for her anniversary, well, their honeymoon rather, and so we watched both of my nephews. And if you tell kids that you're giving them vegan or something different, you give them that excuse to react and act like a 2-year-old, even though they're 5, but they do. And my sister was literally like, if you try to give them vegan food or any vegetables and stuff, like, they'll throw up on you. Like, they're that kind of like resistant towards it. So we just kind of made it fun and said, ooh, you want to try this? And they didn't even notice the difference. And I literally have videos and pictures of them, drinking organic kombucha and just loving it. Like, it's the new Sprite for them. And replacing the vegan mac and cheese with instead of their box craft mac and cheese. So if you sneak it in there and you don't make it apparent, psychologically they'll be more accepting.
Yeah. Kimberly, you want to add something?
I just kind of want to, I agree with what Cynthia said, just that when the kids hear, oh, it's vegan, they're like, they don't want to try it because they're like, oh, no, it's healthy. I'm not going to like it. And I think that even works for adults and older people who just, oh, I don't know, I'll never try vegan just because they're used to and they're accustomed to what they normally eat. But I think if more people gave it a try, that they'd want to keep up with it because of the health benefits, and it does taste good.
I completely agree with you, Kimberly. I try something new. I never tell my children it's vegan or something. I tell them, then they want to market it. So I should never tell them. After they taste, I just tell them. But sometimes if it doesn't turn out good, my kids used to ask me, Mommy, have you named this? Have you named this? Please don't give it a name and don't give this recipe to anyone. Yeah, sometimes it becomes a blunder. I mean, making recipes is a lot of fun. I mean, we have to enjoy all this. So vegan desserts are fun, actually. Yeah, trying vegan is really fun in families. But I never tell the children that it's vegan or something. After they try, they like it, then I tell them it's vegan. Yeah, that's a way to go with them. Yeah.
LOL.
So yeah.
One pediatrician told me that you have to introduce food 17 times to a child before you can truly say that they don't like it. So just keep trying.
Before you even prepare, they can say that. Yeah, they are very smart. Okay. Yeah, but still, like I accept, like, like we have to give them multitude of times, but um, some kids are really fuzzy, and you shouldn't tell them that it's like like something new that you are trying or something. After you give them, maybe you have to tell them. Yeah. That's my personal experience with my children.
I love that.
I
Dean,
agree.
you want to weigh in? Oh, sorry, Annette. I was just wanting to hear from Dean and anybody else that wants to add to that. That's so funny. I didn't even know with Indu. I just knew that's kind of what we examined with kids.
I just sent Indu a message on the thing. I eat in a lot of Indian restaurants, and I told her she should make a vegan mango kulfi for her kids.
Yeah, sure. I
mango.
will. I will. Thank you so much, Dean. I will.
Too.
That's so funny. Kimberly, did you have anything to add, love?
I didn't really have anything else to add for this topic. I think I hit the points.
All right, let's move on to the next slide. Ooh, cost effective.
So, what about the cost effectiveness of vegan desserts? Has anyone tried them in restaurants or at home?
Yeah, so Sprouts, Whole Foods is a little bit on the more expensive side, but if you go to Sprouts, Vons, there are organic, vegan, frozen ice creams. I've been guilty of having a few of those, not too often, but they are so good. Those little ice creams, almost like the Dove bars, except it's all vegan and organically sourced too.
Yeah, the ice creams are really good. One thing I noticed about the cost effectiveness is it seems to be a little more expensive than some of the standard products, which is kind of annoying. But like they say, I guess you do pay for the quality that you get sometimes, but hopefully coming up, we could get those prices down on a policy level somehow, hopefully in the future.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kimberly. Whole Foods, when you shop at Whole Foods, it's a little more expensive. It's worth it, and you can trust the products that they're selling. You know that it's truly vegan, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think because it's considered specialized right now, it's more expensive. But I agree, we need some policies or something to make some advocacy changes to lower the prices so people don't shy away from because they can't afford them or they don't want to pay a little extra money when they can get something cheaper that's just not as good of quality or not vegan. So I agree.
I was also thinking maybe if we were to buy our own ingredients, they might come out a little cheaper than if we were to buy the vegan desserts at the store. Because I definitely agree with Kimberly and Anita that they could be a little bit pricey sometimes. I've seen vegan desserts at the farmer's market, and they do typically sell for a higher price compared to regular desserts.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a good idea. Making as much as you can from scratch, getting the ingredients to lower the price, that could definitely help as well.
Dean, you want to add something?
Yeah, I just I've shopped at Whole Foods and some of the other stores that are similar to that, and we moved to Rockford here, away from Chicago. Chicago have Whole Foods. Here we have some other stores. One of them is called Choices, it's called, and they sell a lot of vegan and vegetarian type things, as well as non-GMO products, organic, etc. On the average, it all costs more than the counterpart, but I think if sometimes things are worth more. I mean, and that's I don't know. That's kind of a blanket statement, and for those that cannot afford to eat that way, I do feel bad. There needs to be some policy changes, as far as across the board with grocery stores, what they supply, what stores open in what areas, and yeah, there needs to be some changes that everyone can have access to these kind of things. Definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, do vegan desserts taste and look similar to traditional desserts? Well, I could start by saying that these pictures here in the presentation, they're all vegan desserts, and they look pretty similar. The cookies look, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Carrot cake. These on top kind of look like fruit tarts, which I've seen that weren't vegan because I used to work in a bakery. But they look exactly the same to me, really. And this Oreo cake just looks so delicious. Like, I would have no idea that this was vegan. And another bonus to being vegan, you could eat Oreos. I know they have the vegan free option. So yeah. And I'd also say some of the cookies recipes that I found, they taste just as good as the other ones, honestly.
I love that. Thank you for putting a play on the vegan desserts and the level of how the taste. People think that the taste can be compromised, and really, our taste buds change when we change our diet, and you smell different too. Honestly, I remember, before we had gone vegan plant-based, we would both smell different, my husband and I. And so when you're putting cleaner ingredients, and we all sweat, and we have all that, and you're incorporating the smell of yourself as well as your taste is all going to change. You just have to give it the time for your body to adjust while you're putting in these healthier ingredients.
And just to add to Cynthia's point, you look good, right? You feel good, you look good, you're eating right. So there is not only do they taste good, I mean, and they look good, those pictures. I want every one of those desserts right now on that slide. But after you eat them, kind of along with what Cynthia is saying, you smell better, you feel better, and you look better. Your skin looks better. There's some positive things that can happen to your body when you're eating vegan. So
Yeah, I'd like to add to what Annette mentioned. When I've had vegan desserts, I always feel like compared to regular desserts, I feel a lot lighter and a lot healthier. Not just like the mentality, hey, I'm eating something healthy. I also feel like my stomach, like, I don't feel like it's not working as hard at digesting, for sure.
I'd like to just say too, referring back to the non-dairy aspect. I'm a little lactose intolerant. I'm not the worst patient in the world when it comes to that, but I feel it. So if I eat something that tastes like dairy but doesn't really have it in it, it's like a great experience. Like, wow, that didn't even bother me. I love that feeling of having that option.
That's great, Dean. Yeah. Dessert wise, like there is no loss of taste. Vegan desserts are absolutely nutritious and also like very, very tasty. Like my kids also love it. They say it's very yummy. So you don't lose, like anything in vegan desserts. It's really good. Yeah.
Since nobody was saying anything, I'll let you know. We also use almond milk here at home. It's just so much easier to pour a glass of that than dairy milk. It just goes down a lot better. So just to add.
Oh yeah, yeah. Almond milk is a very good alternative to dairy. Yeah. Thank you.
So, are vegan desserts found in grocery stores or local farmers markets? So, like we were saying before, yeah, they are. like Whole Foods and many other grocery stores has many vegan options. I see that there's many vegan ice creams in many places, even at like 7-Elevens. 7-Eleven, I usually could get lucky and get vegan ice cream there. I feel like those are common. But yeah, they are available in grocery stores and local farmers markets, along with all the ingredients you typically would need to make your own vegan dessert.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that. It's exciting when you go in just to a mainstream grocery store, not like a Whole Foods or a Sprouts, and you see it was started with, you saw organic, you started to see little sections of organic that the stores were embracing, and now that's gotten bigger, and now you're starting to see they're carrying vegan products. So it's like we're slowly moving into seeing people embrace a vegan lifestyle, and it's nice to see that the mainstream is offering these things. So it's getting bigger, it's growing.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of vegan desserts, not only in the grocery stores, but definitely a lot in the farmers market, and it's really nice just because I see a bunch of selections, and they all look really good. And I have tried a few. I once ate a cookie, and I didn't taste the difference, and it was, like I mentioned earlier, desserts, vegan desserts are light, so it felt good in my stomach, Yeah.
Cynthia, you may need to add Dean because he's in backstage now. Thank you so much for that.
Hi.
Yeah, hi, welcome back. So, Dean, where do you find the vegan desserts in the grocery stores? Like which grocery store do you buy them?
Here in Rockford is that store that's called Choices. There's also a store it's called Woodman's that would have that, and Meyer. I don't know if you guys have Meyer in your cities, but they're pretty big. We kind of wish we had a Whole Foods here, but they didn't make it to Rockford. So, but we have these other stores that have those desserts. There's also a vegan restaurant called Big Minds. It's not far. They have vegan desserts with their dinners as well if you want to eat out, which is awesome. They're also a microbrewery, believe it or not. So it's a vegan restaurant with a microbrewery. Go figure that one.
That's awesome to know. Anna, do you want to add your list of grocery stores or the local ones?
You can actually, I don't know where most people are from, but our big carriers are Pavilions and Ralph's, and they do carry vegan options there. But I think most people will shop we have a Whole Foods, we have a Sprouts. Those are the two main ones that are a go-to that you're for sure going to find. Probably tastier items than some of the other, the grocery stores are carrying. They're not quite up to speed yet, but and Whole Foods, obviously, they make their own. They have a bakery there, so you can get homemade vegan goodies there as well. So yeah.
That's awesome. But I see in almost all grocery stores they have got a separate aisle for vegan products these days. And so that's a growing movement now. So it's really kind of a revolution. So it's really helpful. But we have some vegan friendly places where we find them affordable. And not all shops are affordable. So that's one thing we may need to shop around and have a list of places where we'll go and shop them around. Yeah, thank you so much, Anna. Thank you so much for adding.
So for discussion number 8, wondering if anyone has any festive recipes, holiday recipes. Let's see what's coming up. We've got 4th of July coming up, Memorial Day. Does anyone want to share any recipes for the holidays?
There's one recipe that my family does for Thanksgiving, and what we do is we make the vegan, the little, it looks like a Reese's Pieces, so it's filled with peanut butter. We get the vegan chocolate and everything, and then so we put the then we also get a vegan chocolate cracker. And so it goes down the bottom, and then you put the Reese's on top. Kind of looks like a hat, like a pilgrim hat. So that's always been a tradition in my family. And they're so good. So good.
That sounds delicious.
That's
really
awesome. That's awesome. Kenya, do you have any festive recipes with you?
I have one. I know during Christmas time, my family, they make this sweet potato recipe, and it tastes really good. I'm not entirely sure of what all the ingredients are in it, but I could definitely share it with you guys as soon as I find out.
Please do it, Kenya, because my pet loves sweet potato a lot. He can thrive on sweet potato. I mean, he loves it so much. Yeah, it's an chickpea, and I think sweet potato is an excellent vegan ingredient. Actually, they give very good taste. Also, pumpkin. Yeah, they give very good taste. Actually, yeah. Thank you so much, Kenya. Cynthia, I know you have a lot of festive recipes. So, can you share some of?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. I am just answering comments and stuff on the other threads, but we do have a vegan cheesecake that has gained a lot of popularity among our fans and our friends and our family. And so you'll see here, this is what I was talking about earlier. You got the green spirulina, you got the blue spirulina. We used a Hawaiian coconut pineapple blend in there for the yellow to kind of pan out. And then we have a camu, which is highly common among vitamin C recipes. And this just, my husband's a chef, so he has one of those cake kits. And so he just crafted the organic whipped cream on top. And it just comes out just really amazing. You can soak the cashews overnight, or you could boil them in water for about 10 minutes, strain them, and then the cashews in the Vitamix comes out really creamy and liquidy. And so this kind of dessert, you would think it wouldn't be diabetic friendly. You would think it would be loaded with chemical natural flavorings, dyes, all that stuff you see in the foods, but it is not. There's a coulis on top of that made with raw berries. I believe he used raspberries, blueberries, drizzled a little bit of that cacao chocolate, made it into a sauce, and kind of took some shavings of the chocolate that we have 40 pounds of. And then the bottom, you can see the graham. You would think that's graham cracker, but really it's just blended up walnuts, pecans, MCT oil to hold it together, maple syrup. All of these ingredients are amazing. And if you want to go and add some sparkling wine to get that little pizzazz to it, you can do that as well. But, you're not going to find much less than the best in this kind of recipe that, yes, it literally takes staying 4 to 6 hours just to make this, prep it and all of that. But it's huge. Like it lasted us a week or two. And so sharing that among your family, and we hope to get our cheesecake that you see here in stores one day in the future. This is something that we've gotten a lot of compliments on. So I hope I answered that good, Indu.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. I know you have a lot. You have a lot of recipes and you cook a lot. Thank you so much, Cynthia. That's a wonderful recipe from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. What do you think, Kimberly? Did you start this out? Kenya? I have 2 Ks here, so I keep going. Kimberly, Kenya.
I don't have any recipes to share. I'm just a consumer of sweets, of vegan desserts. That's about it. Like I said, I usually I run down to our store where that mom makes vegan desserts, or Whole Foods. So I wish I had a recipe to share. And like I said, I am going to get on Assuaged. I'm completely inspired. I'm not much of a baker, so this is just going to fuel me into trying new things.
Yeah, the picture we have put here the pictures. They're all vegan recipes only. So the Halloween special and the pumpkin ones are all like, like they are the festive recipes from Assuaged. And these Christmas specials like gingerbread and these sugar cookies are all from other sites. So we have quite a lot of recipes. And as Cynthia said before, our Assuaged site, and also when you Google, you can find quite a lot of recipes. Yeah. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Indu.
Yeah, thank you.
I
Kenya,
just
you
want.
want to ask us something? Yeah,
Oh,
please, Cynthia. Please go ahead.
can you guys see our photo reel? The
Oh, yeah.
cheese, another cheesecake right
Yes, that
there.
looks so good.
My
Yeah, I see
husband made that.
it.
Awesome.
And yeah, so these are just kind of, you can see our little doggies are in here too. But we take lots of pictures. This is another raw cake that my husband made. So, once you get comfortable into that realm of being able to create your own yummy desserts, it's amazing the benefits that come out of it. And hopefully they'll get lower price points on vegan desserts, because like I was telling the back end of our chat here earlier, you could get a Twix bar for what, 80 cents or something? I don't even know. I haven't bought one of the Reese's peanut butter cups or something like that. But if you go and get a Nellie's bar, a Nellie's is like Snickers. They have a brownie one, they have a Twix like one, and it's $3 a bar. $3 a bar. But you're getting organic cacao and all the love and labor and the expense that goes into that. So I guess, it will be really nice once we can make those policy initiatives and proposals to lower the cost of vegan foods. Hashtag winning.
Yeah, sure, Cynthia. Thank you so much for adding that.
Okay, discussion question number 9. What can make vegan desserts more enticing or popular than traditional desserts? And this question was asked by Collins. Well, I was just looking at Cynthia's cheesecakes, and those looked really appetizing. So I guess maybe getting the right angle can be enticing can make the desserts look more appealing for sure. But what do you guys think?
I think like adding some decorative like fruit pieces on top, like the picture Cynthia showed, really makes it enticing, and it also just adds another good flavor in there to balance out the sweets that come from, let's say, cake or something. The little juice with the fruits, it really balances it out.
I agree. The presence of fruit on top, and then the decorations will make it. I used to like to go to some German bakeries in Chicago. I don't think we have one out here, but they'd make these torts and they just put that fruit on top. So I mean, if somebody would do the same thing with vegan desserts, or maybe get a real good German baker and say, hey, make them look like yours, but not with the milk products or whatnot, that would be interesting.
I think we need Cynthia's husband. He makes desserts look so good.
They have a little German in them.
Presentation is everything. You eat with your eyes first before you put stuff in your mouth. So, just like you guys said, just presenting it in a way with beautiful pieces of fruit on top, toppings, I keep saying chocolate, I mean cacao sauce, and different things just to make it pleasing to the eye. We know that it tastes good already, but just making it beautiful, because we eat with our eyes first. So I think that's important.
I completely agree, Annette. Like one of my friends didn't want to go vegan because she said she cannot lose desserts. But once I told her desserts also exist in vegan world, she changed to a complete vegan. Yeah. So yeah, it's really veganism is becoming popular because of these vegan desserts recipes. I tell you. Yeah, because people do not want to lose desserts because as the first slide said, like desserts actually lessen your stress. Yeah. So it's anti-stress, so people love it.
Yeah, just like I was saying earlier, you release all those chemicals in your brain, and that makes it's good for your. I mean, when you're eating vegan desserts, it's not only good for your body. Kenya brought up digestion and your skin, and you have energy, but it's also good for your mental health. So it's overall a good thing.
Oh yes, completely agree, Annette. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Does anyone else have something to weigh in on? Or we can, okay, I see another question. Can vegan desserts be consumed on a diet? Typically, you would think no, because of the sugar. When you take vegan out of that, sugar and chemicals, preservatives. I mean, there's like 1,500 preservatives legally that they're not required to report on, but you can find these ingredients on the food agriculture website. There's a whole list of them, and we'll have to drop a blog and share that on our website. But that's processed and natural in general. Processed, vegan or not, is going to weigh heavily on the body, but vegan is less negative in impacting on the body. And that's why we're really trying to bring in that empowerment and that level of patience that you can have to make your own desserts. Like, I believe Kimberly or Kenya, I keep getting it mixed up in my mind. Someone said earlier about how if you get the ingredients yourself, you get the cashews to make your own cream based cheesecake. That's going to lower the cost for you, but then you're going to be sitting there for a while making things from scratch. So it's all, the more effort and work you put into a vegan dessert, the healthier it can be. And I would say it could be consumed on a diet in terms of just becoming your healthiest self and making better compromises in terms of what you're choosing to consume.
Has anyone added vegan desserts on their diet? Does anyone have anything else to add to this?
I was going to add, I don't know if anyone has ever worked with monk fruit before, but that's an awesome sweetener when you're talking about diet. It's pretty low in calories and or no calories, I believe. I'm not exactly sure, but I just know that it's a natural sweetener that's, fruit and raw. And so if someone is trying to, go on a diet or that might be an option. So
We, I don't know what brand it is, but we keep some monk fruit in the house for tea and coffee. So I love that stuff. It's really good.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Does anybody have anything else to weigh in? Kenya, what do you think, love?
Well, I'd say if someone were to eat vegan desserts and let's say they weren't already on a vegan diet, I'd say they probably wouldn't feel as guilty, since I'm sure the vegan desserts would have healthier diet ingredients. But let's say someone is in a vegan diet, I'd say it wouldn't really make a difference. Like it's still healthy. It's still the healthier choice, vegan desserts. Either way, like whether you're eating a vegan diet or not.
That's a really good concept that you tie in there, love. You're learning. A lot of the students that come on our team, I had made a post last night about how, we've tried to partner with vegan, plant-based brands, mostly vegan. And so, they're very kind of have a strong message towards those who are not vegan. as well as those who are vegan in terms of the collaboration side of things. So being open-minded to the experience of just trying vegan and making healthier choices, and you know, it's a process in that. So you may not be fully aware of the ins and outs and what's available, and how you're going to start your own health journey. But at the end of the day, you're going to be able to experience a better life because you're making those better choices. So thank you so much, Kenya. Kimberly, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think vegan desserts, can be eaten during a diet, but like anything, too much of anything is not good for you. So I think just by limiting how much you eat, maybe once a day, once every other day, a couple times, 2 maybe times a week, instead of every day, 2 times a day. That's not going to be healthy just because it's vegan. You can't overdo it. But as long as you keep it under control, and you have a little bit, it could still be healthy for you, and it could work for a diet.
Awesome. Dean, what do you think?
Agree with all the above. Everyone's had great ideas, and I'm down with all of it. Just try to do more of it myself. And I'm not the biggest maker of desserts or baker like your husband is, but I know there's someone I can get to do it for me. So there you go.
That's so funny. That must be a Virgo trait, because that's what I was saying. Like, I can cook and put some time into it, like maybe 30 minutes, but like staying sitting there and like 6 hours to make a cheesecake. I'll go to the store and buy one I get. But we have done it at the celebrity retreats. We sat there for hours. We had some students come in and help us cook. We did 3-course meals for all the guests that stayed over a week. And so that was just, I have experienced putting love and making these foods and making sure you're being sanitary about it. But it's not something I'd be like, oh, that's my first choice.
That's awesome.
So we have another question.
Yes, I got this one. Discussion question 11. So the question is, can you convert traditional desserts into vegan desserts?
Yeah, initially I started making vegan desserts like that. I had the traditional dessert recipe, and I just for the dairy products I used to add almond milk, coconut milk, kind of. So that's how I started making. Now, like, we have quite a lot of recipes. The trademark just vegan dessert recipes we have now. But previously, I used to do only these substitutions of whatever, like non-vegan stuff is there. I used to substitute that with vegan stuff and used to do that. Yeah, that was nice also. But now these original vegan recipes are so good also. Yeah. Anna, do you want to add something to this?
Yeah, I think that anything can be converted into. So if you have a favorite dessert, for example, ice cream, it can be made with vegan ingredients. So I'm hoping that people will be willing to try new things. I know that I want to try new things in terms of having a favorite dessert and trying to get a recipe and make it from, I was mentioning Assuaged or Google or wherever. I'm just hoping that this discussion will inspire people, because it's inspired me. And I definitely have favorites. I love cookies. I love ice cream, vegan. So I'm going to try to make them on my own. I'm going to go out and take the time, get a good recipe, and try it for myself and not be afraid to.
That's great. We just go on to the next question.
Discussion question 12. What should I use instead of eggs?
That's a great one. So I'll just kind of kick that off, that I had no idea that you could replace egg. And I won't lie, stepping away from like the vegan side of things, one thing I haven't really been able to figure out is egg drop soup. That's something, the texture and stuff that I personally miss as being a vegan. But when you're making pancakes, when you're trying to get a rise out of cakes, oh my goodness, there's so many alternatives. There's arrowroot, there's chia seeds, there is flax seeds. That's a common one we have used at the Craig and Jenny retreats. So that's kind of what I have to provide on my end.
Yeah. For me, like I go for applesauce, the unsweet or the sweet ones. Yeah, they really come out good for the muffins, the cakes, and everything. So applesauce is my favorite. So I never use eggs. For me, applesauce is the alternative. I love it.
Along with that, and do you use sweet potato or pumpkin, like we had talked about earlier, as a binder?
Oh yeah, I do that also. But applesauce is my favorite when I make bread or the muffins or whatever. Especially for the sweet one, the applesauce is really really good. But I add sweet potato, especially if I want to give to my pet. I just add sweet potato and pumpkin also. Yeah, that's a great alternative also, Anna. Thank you so much.
I've also heard that you could use ripe bananas instead too. So that's something I could definitely try. You
Oh
guys
yeah,
can do.
oh yeah, I agree. Banana is a great alternative too.
I'm curious to learn the chemistry behind, the foods, how, I don't know, like how certain foods can be used as alternatives. Just curious to know how they work.
People wonder about the consistency and the texture that it might turn out. So that would be the problem. So sometimes, like I've always seen people do cakes with eggs. They really come out nice. But without egg, it's maybe a little compromise. But I think like for vegans, it's okay. I mean, like you want to stick on to certain principles and values, and I think a little compromise is okay. Yeah, that's what I'm finding it. Yeah.
And there's ingredients that you wouldn't eat, pumpkin and banana. You have to get out there and just kind of try it and look at the other recipes online. And every time Thane and I have created something, we always kind of like switch stuff up, and even like taste that you normally wouldn't think that could go together, but you have to kind of just try it out and experiment and have as much fun as you can with it, and maybe cook with another person, because I do like cooking with Thane, but if I were to do it myself, I would be like, oh no.
Yeah. So can we move on to the next slide?
Discussion question 13. Can you make gluten-free desserts? Gluten-free vegan desserts.
The answer, yeah. My sister actually has to be gluten-free, and so she always gets desserts like that. She always goes to this certain bakery, which it's sad because it just closed down, and it was her favorite bakery, only place she could find her gluten-free options. So that was sad, but she's gotten some really good stuff. Because usually I stick with some gluten in there, but she'll always make me try her stuff, and it's good. There's some really good options out there for sure.
Oh yeah, quite a lot of vegan ingredients. I think they are gluten free already. So like by that, like it's really helpful. So does Annette want to add something to this?
I'm sure you can do gluten-free. Being a nurse, I know that a lot of people require a gluten-free, casein-free diet, and it's really important that they stick to that. So there's the regular substitutes that they can probably use in a vegan recipe that would work. So I think it is possible. I know there are some medical conditions where people have to have a gluten-free diet. So you can do both. You can do them hand in hand.
So, Dean, do you find gluten-free desserts? Is it easy to find?
I haven't really come across gluten-free desserts so much as I found a lot of good gluten-free breads out there, and so yeah, we've actually started buying some of those too. Gluten-free is probably good for most people that don't even have, as Annette was saying, medical conditions like celiac disease where they have to have it. But I think we're all kind of affected by gluten at one level or another. One thing for sure, that gluten does spike blood sugar, and that's not good for diabetics, but it's not that great for regular people, especially if you're trying to lose weight and whatnot. So I think gluten-free is awesome. And if I were to come across more gluten-free desserts, I would probably buy them in addition to bread and other things.
Yeah. I think Tane is adding to our discussion. He is like contributing a lot of things because it's his area, I think. So like his portfolio. So he's just adding that, it just like we have to try those ingredients, and it's fun to make gluten-free desserts. And he says banana can substitute egg very well. One banana equals one egg, and 1/4 cup of applesauce equals one egg. Wow, quite a lot of comes from his experience. Thank you so much, Thane. Thank you so much for your inputs. Thank you so much.
Discussion question 14. How do vegan desserts differ in consistency / texture from regular desserts? And I know we touched based on this a few questions ago about the chemistry and how certain foods can be used as substitutes, such as eggs, and use bananas and applesauce for eggs. Now, when I did try the cookie back at the farmer's market, I noticed that it had the exact same texture as if I was eating a regular cookie, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's awesome. You should prepare at home to know, whether the consistency is coming good. For me, there is a little compromise. I should accept that. There is a little compromise in the texture and all that, but I'm fine with that. So far, I'm just going ahead with the vegan stuff. I'm happy. So maybe I need to improve my skills in doing like Tane. I have to improve my skills in doing that to a perfection. Yeah. But still, the taste and all that is really good. So I don't find any compromise in that. But the texture, I should admit, I don't get that kind of a texture.
I was going to add to that, Indu. I think it really depends on what you're making. Some things taste the same and you really can't tell the difference. But sometimes when you're substituting, like with applesauce or banana, it can compromise the texture a little bit, but nothing. It's still like Indu was saying, it's still tasty. It's still delicious. It's just not exactly the same, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a little different. That's my experience.
Oh wow, that's really a good perspective. That's a bit different. That's it. But taste wise, I don't see any difference. They are equally delicious. Yeah, thank you so much, Annette.
So we have our next slide. We're kind of running on time here, and we wanted to invite all of our viewers to comment on our video, ask us this questions that you're wanting to know relative to vegan desserts, vegan lifestyle, healthy living, making better choices for yourself and the planet, and for our families to follow suit. And so we welcome any questions, any comments, any emails. You can reach us at hello@assuaged.com. We will drop this information in the comments as well. So in that, I'd like to thank Annette and Kenya and Kimberly and Dean and Indumathi, everybody on this call today. You have been amazing. We are all learning how to do these presentations and these live shows and switching back and forth and just making sure you guys are all able to see the level of public health advocacy that we are definitely taking some strong initiatives there as a team. So thank you so much for all of you showing up. Yay, we did another one successfully.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure, Cynthia. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us, everyone. We'll see you
Thank you
next
so much.
time.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.